Muhammad Iqbal. The name alone sends a shockwave of intellectual energy through history. You see, this man wasn't just a poet, not just a philosopher, but wait for it. He was an architect of identity, a breaker of chains, and a visionary who couldn't transcend the mundane with a single stroke of his pen. You might know him as the spiritual father of Pakistan, but Iqbal's ideas, his radical philosophy, transcendent geography and time. And if you're not careful, let's rewind to colonial India, where the Muslims were facing an existential crisis. Their identity was not just eroded by British imperialism, but crushed by centuries of stagnation in their own spiritual journey. Iqbal, he wasn't having any of it. No, he called for a reconstruction of religious thoughts. Get this, based on reason, science, and modernity. And let's not forget, this wasn't just dry philosophy. No, it was poetry that shook the very core of his time. He believed in something called Khudi. Imagine the most intense of self-awareness, the raw, undiluted essence of being. He said the self is not something that is born. It's something we create. Think about that for a second. He was thinking about something that could propel you to greatness, rise you from oppression, make you free. Now hold on. Let's not just hang around in abstraction. This wasn't a feel-good philosophy. Iqbal's thinking was sharp and he had political intent. He didn't just muse about freedom. He wanted a new world order, a united Muslim world, one that transcended borders, wrapped together by a common purpose that he called Pan-Islamism. This wasn't just about resistance to colonialism. No, this was about building something new, something where Muslims could stand tall in modern world. But here's where it gets interesting. Iqbal wasn't just shaking up the political world. No. He was also reinterpreting the foundations of Islam itself, urging a radical re-examination of Islamic teachings through the lens of modernity. And do you know who helped him in this intellectual revolution? The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Yes, Nietzsche. The Nietzsche whose ideas about the Übermensch, the overman, could be seen echoed in Iqbal's concept of the self. But it gets deeper. Iqbal's ideas didn't just sit in dusty old books, waiting to be forgotten. He sought action. His poetry was a call to arms, intellectual arms, from Bangadra to Payam-e-Mashriq. His works weren't just lyrical beauty, they were bombs of social change. He wanted to reignite the spirit of a people and lead them to something greater than a mere survival. And here's the kicker. Why does all of this matter? Why should we care today in the 21st century? Well, folks, the world hasn't changed as much as we think. Yes, we may have smartphones and social media, but the crisis of identity Iqbal wrote about is alive and well. Just look around you. Cultural subjugation, the erosion of selfhood, those are real issues, and Iqbal's call of self-empowerment and a collective awakening are just as important today. Whether you are in Istanbul, Karachi, or New York, his message of self-realization rides out louder than ever. The idea of Khudi, of strengthening the inner self, it's timeless. And now, think of it this way. What if I told you that Iqbal's fusion of philosophy, poetry, and political action could be the blueprint for a world struggling with its own identities, crisis in the age of globalism? Iqbal wasn't just a man of his time. No, Iqbal wasn't just a man of his time. No, he was a man beyond time. And when you look at his legacy, you start to see that we have only just begun to understand the magnitude of his vision. So, in the end, the question isn't just who was Muhammad Iqbal. The question is how much of him is still in you. Professor Dr. Celal Soydan is a prominent Turkish academic and scholar specializing in Urdu language and literature. He is a professor at Istanbul University's Department of Urdu Language and Literature, and he's made significant contributions of promotion Urdu studies in Turkey. Soydan completed his master's in Urdu from Punjab University in Lahore and his PhD on Allama Muhammad Iqbal, a renowned philosopher and poet at Ankara University. He was written extensively, publishing numerous works in both Urdu and Turkish, including translation of Allama Iqbal's poetry into Turkish. In recognition of his work in bringing cultural ties between Turkey and Pakistan, Professor Soydan was awarded Pakistan's third highest civil award, the Stera-e-Quaid-e-Azam 2021. I know your mind is spinning right now, but take a moment, reflect, and when you're ready, dive deeper into the world of Iqbal, because trust me, this rabbit hole goes way deeper than you think.